This fight brought to you by Star Sports. Hassan in the yellow, Cheng in the white and black, and already they're unloading. And Cheng gets caught with two vicious left hands, and he's taking the brunt of the punishment here. Although both men were throwing punches heavily.
Well, you know, like we talked about, we thought Hassan was going to come out aggressive, and Cheng, Hassan both just stood in the pocket and played rock'em sock'em robots. The only problem with that is somebody's chin is going to get tested. You know, you have to really be able to slip, dodge, and weave and know when you're throwing those punches that your opponent's going to throw back.
Cheng is cut. There's blood on his forehead. Not quite sure where the cut's coming from, but he's bleeding all over Hassan's shorts. See if we can get a look at that. Hassan's
in on a front choke here. It doesn't look like it's that deep because Cheng is up on his feet and he's got the pressure where it needs to be. That choke is pretty tight, but, you know, Cheng's going to rally out of this here, it looks like.
So the cut is over the right eye, and that's a dangerous place for it to be, and he's coming back with punches to the body.
It is dangerous because when you have those cuts over the eye, they can bleed into your eye. You know, even though if Cheng can just hang on here and just kind of take some of that pressure off with his hand like he's doing there and fight the hand grip, Mahmoud is using a lot of energy and a lot of strength, squeezing on that choke. The lactic acid builds up.
Especially for a big man, it's going to tire him out. We're not expecting Hassan to be as potent on the ground as perhaps Cheng will be. Cheng is slightly more rounded.
Well, you know, like I said, that choke, it looks like it's affecting Cheng. I can't really tell if this is one of those I might tap scenarios, but he knows that if he can just hang on, he can just pry these hands loose here.
He's trying.
You hear the crowd getting behind him. There he is, he's out.
Listen to the crowd.
Payback time from the top.
Here we go. Swings and roundabouts.
This is where Hassan has to be careful because he's reaching up nice and high, and Cheng is versed in submissions. He's going to start to look to attack that lead arm.
Olivier Coste warns Cheng not to punch on the back of the head. A gum shield's come out.
That's usually indicative of your opponent getting tired because the gum shield, as you call it, sir, it restricts your breathing.
Mouthpiece is what you like to call it, right?
I like to call it the teeth saver. Hassan here is getting really tired. You can tell he spit out that mouthpiece. I think he may have really used up a lot of his energy with that initial choke.
Cheng pressing down with that elbow. He's used it as quite a potent weapon there about 30 seconds ago. Looking also for knees to the head and body. There's another left knee to the head. Cheng, who was in quite a bit of trouble in the early moments of this opening round, is coming back. What an intriguing contest this is.
And he has a lot of time to work too. 2 minutes left, and you know he has to be careful here if you're Hassan, because you are in a really bad spot. And you see Hassan's holding onto the head of Cheng, trying to hold him down, but he's really exposing that arm. Cheng can step around for a far side armbar. He can start working Kimuras. Or he can just work that right knee across the belly of Hassan and move into mount. A little bit late here, but there's that wrestling base that we're talking about. See those hips just digging in deep. It's going to be very hard for Hassan to get Cheng off here.
Again, the elbow, the forearm onto Hassan's head.
Nice punches.
And the back.
One-way ticket to Backville. This could be the beginning of the end here. Hassan has a minute to survive in this position. That's 260 pounds of beef coming down out of the sky, too. That's really going to take its toll.
And when those punches come under the armpit, as they are doing there, they're landing flush on the face. Hassan taking a lot of punishment. Olivier Coste asking him to defend himself and do so effectively, because if he doesn't, Olivier Coste will step in here.
Well, he's got 40 seconds to hang on. And one of the things Olivier Coste is going to look at is that Hassan turned his back, and that's a defensive maneuver. It's a little like you're kind of giving up that position because you're taking punishment.
And we must have had 30+ blows rain down. Taking punishment is what you said. He's not giving anything back, the Egyptian.
Yeah, we haven't really seen anything in the way of offense from Hassan on the ground. He had that guillotine choke in a little bit, but it's going to be a whole nother round here in about 10 seconds. And we're really going to get to see whose cardio is going to play a factor here. Because big guys, it's one of the things that the trade-off of that strength is is the lactic acid buildup and all the oxygen that your muscles use.
He survived. There must have been, Jason, 50 or so unanswered punches from Paul Cheng, who judge fights in their entirety, not round by round. Well, what a thriller of a first round that was. Now, Cheng, as a southpaw, has that open eye, the left eye to see with.
You know, I got to think that I'm surprised Hassan is being as patient as he was. Rich Franklin here, how do you see this for damage so far?
Well, you could almost score Cheng for a near KO at the end there with the punches. I'm not sure how effective that was, but I'm looking at him ahead on the scorecards right now for damage inflicted in that round.
Oh, Cheng's down, and he takes, oh, and he was going to take a knee to the head, but incredible reversal from Paul Cheng. Oh, that was monumental. And Mahmoud Hassan has been cut over his left eye. These two are giving and taking quite a lot of punishment. Directly above us here at cage side at the NTU Sports Center.
It's almost disconcerting making eye contact with Cheng here as he's in on a double leg. I mean, the tenacity, you know, he ate a couple of big shots. He's given a couple of big ones right back here. And oh, just missed with that left.
Hassan's face is a mess. We talked about the damage done to Paul Cheng, but Hassan now is perhaps the man. If we can just get a look at how serious that is, certainly the doctor's going to take a look at it. Here we go. Second round is resumed with 3:45 to go.
And both men just very cognizant of this other's striking prowess, and more importantly, with a power packed behind those punches. I think Cheng wisely goes in here for a double leg takedown to try to exploit that grappling prowess.
Oh, the knee to the head from Hassan. And that was on the good eye.
You know, you'll see guys that don't fight the takedown like Hassan there looking for that guillotine, and it's kind of a risky factor because you have to be really sure that you're going to be able to grab that neck and really connect with that. And that's fine if you don't want to fight a takedown, if you think you can get the submission. But if you just get in a position here, and you can see on Hassan's face, he is really muscling this guillotine.
And you can see why his mouthpiece fell out, because he sort of plays with it as he's exerting all that effort in the guillotine.
He's trying to breathe and get more oxygen. I mean, he's using a tremendous amount of strength here. And one of the things I don't think he's cognizant of is that he has Paul Cheng's right arm trapped in there. So even though there's a lot of pressure on Paul's neck, he's expending more muscle and more oxygen in just the lactic acid buildup by squeezing constantly. And as the fight goes on, that's going to play a huge factor in your punching ability and your defensive abilities. So Paul's just kind of playing possum a little bit here.
He slipped out of it. The blood and the perspiration will have helped. Now, forearm on the face. We've seen that before.
And Paul Cheng's going to try to work right into mount here. He's in cross-side, past the guard of Hassan. He's going to start throwing those punches down. Again, start working the knees to the face.
What a brutal contest this is.
Yeah, Hassan has to get those arms back, too. He's reaching far too high. Paul Cheng's going to realize that. All right, into mount now. Paul Cheng's going to realize that as Hassan's arms are up so high, he's going to start attacking those.
But look how weary Cheng is. There's nothing in those punches. It's just all arm.
Yeah, both guys look like they're running on fumes here. I mean, that's one of the things that heavyweights, everyone loves them because they have those powerful punches and huge knockouts, but there's a trade-off in the cardiovascular aspect.
You are allowed to kick off the fence like that, just not allowed to grip it with your toes or your fingers.
I got to think that Cheng's going to look for a submission here at some point because he's mounted, just raining down monkey punches.
Probably better off going off with the elbows and the forearms, I think, rather than these lumbering punches that are really not doing any damage.
Yeah, I mean, Hassan is giving him an arm. He is just putting that hand right in his face. He's extended all the way. If Cheng just secures that arm and starts giving him something to think about, he's going to have a lot of opportunities for submissions here. Just completely gassed, too. Yeah. Oh, here he's setting up that armbar like we just talked about. Watch for Cheng to secure the right arm of Hassan, and he's going to swing that left leg over. Hassan's going to have about a half a second to shoot that arm back. Cheng's waiting for the end of the round here. You can tell he doesn't have much cardio or gas left in the tank. He doesn't want to risk too much. But he knows he wants to look for that arm bar. That's why that S-mount is changed his mind.
He's just exhausted, isn't he? 24 seconds left. And these two are totally spent. Oh, goodness me. Such big men to go at that early pace for so long.
Yeah, that was... I'm surprised he didn't go for the armbar there. I think if he would have went for it, maybe he just felt, you know, if I miss it, I don't have the gas to fight off my back right now. It might have been a strategic ploy, but that S-mount you saw there where he was working his leg up was definitely looking to work for submissions.
Well, Paul Cheng's right eye is far bigger even than it was. There's some doubt about whether we're going to get a third round.
Okay. No. Okay, you want to continue or not? You want to continue or not? No? You want to stop? You want to stop?
Oh. It is over. Wow, he staggered on his feet as he stood up from the stool. He nearly fell over. If it hadn't been for the cage wall, he would have fallen over.
For your winner, via corner stoppage, Paul